Hello, I'm Jashikins, and welcome to another episode of Jash Reads. Tonight, we are continuing reading Animorphs, number 5, The Predator by K. Applegate. Jake and I were playing video games at the mall. I was kicking his butt. He was distracted because he was eating. He was eating a big red bug with huge pincers. I told him not to eat it. It would upset his stomach. But he just ignored me. Then suddenly his stomach exploded. It just exploded outward, guts flying everywhere. 8 huge spider legs appeared like something in him was trying to crawl out. I tried to get away, but the steam was rising. I was burning up. I tried to run, but my legs were gone, replaced by a tail that jerked and kicked. I screamed and screamed. Marco! Marco, wake up! My eyes opened very suddenly. Darkness. Someone holding on to me. I was confused. Mom? I asked. Silence. Then, no. My brain snapped back into reality. I was in my room, in my own bed. My dad was sitting on the side of the bed. He looked concerned and sad. That's just me, he said. He let go of my shoulders. I felt sweaty all over. Cold sweat. I guess you had a nightmare, my father said. Yeah, I said shakily. Sorry I woke you up. I wasn't asleep, he said. Glanced on my clock. The red numbers showed 3:18 a.m. I didn't have to ask why Dad was awake. He often sat awake late into the night, sometimes watching TV, sometimes just staring into space. He'd been that way since my mom died. My dad looks very different from me. For one thing, he's pretty tall. He's paler than me, too, and has light brown eyes. My mom was Hispanic. Very dark hair and eyes. Everyone says I look like her. I know it's true. Because sometimes when he's thinking about her, my dad will just glaze over and stare at me like I'm not even there. Like I'm a picture of someone else. I'm okay now, I said. You should try to get some sleep. He nodded. Yeah, I'll do that. Look, Marco, you weren't dreaming about her, were you? No, Dad? Why? Because the first thing you said when you woke up was Mom. I guess I was confused. Do you ever dream about her, I mean? Sometimes, I admitted. But they aren't nightmares. He almost smiled. No, I guess they wouldn't be, would they? He picked up the little framed picture of my mom that I keep on my nightstand. Then he got that twisted look of sick grief I had seen on his face every day for the last 2 years. Part of me is mad when I see him that way. Part of me just wants to say, Dad, get it together. Let her go. She's dead. She doesn't want us spending the rest of our lives mourning. But I never do that. After a few minutes, he got up. He made some last remark about how I shouldn't be worried about boogeymen and left. I knew he would sit out in the living room alone and eventually fall asleep in his chair. I lay there in the dark and tried to get the dream out of my head. But it's hard to forget a nightmare that's true. There. It is finished. Axe held up a small mess of electronic components for all of us to see. It looked sort of like an exploded remote control, but smaller. It was the next day. We were out in the woods, grouped together beneath a huge old oak tree. It was like a strange sort of picnic. Jake and Cassie had each brought hand tools for Axe to use: screwdrivers, a soldier gun, a battery-powered drill, a hammer, wrenches, pliers, and, of course, we had the electronic parts we had stashed in the trash before the lobster incident. Rachel had brought sandwiches. I'd brought a six-pack of Pepsi. It was a nice day, sunny and warm. I needed a nice day. I needed sunlight. I'd had a bad night with too little sleep. So, Axe, I said, what is it? It is a distressed beacon that can broadcast on your frequencies, he said with satisfaction. I know this is a Yerk frequency. We have used it to trick them before, to send false instructions. All it needs is a Z-space transponder, Jake said warily, rolling his eyes at me. I think Jake may have been a bit ragged out by the lobster incident, too. He seemed snappish and kind of unfocused. Not at all Jake-like. And since we can't get a Z-space transponder, it's basically useless, right? Rachel asked. Yes, totally useless without the transponder. Rachel threw up her hands. Then what exactly are we doing? Jake just shrugged. Cassie sidled up next to him and gave him a little sideways hug. No one was supposed to notice, but right away Jake's harsh look mellowed a little. That wasn't doing anything for my bad mood, though. Well, I'm guessing that in about 2 centuries or so, humans will discover zero space and make transponders, whatever they are. But in the meantime, I'm going to have a sandwich. Tobias came drifting down through the branches and leaves of the tree, almost silent. He landed on a low branch of the oak. No one anywhere near here, he reported. Looks safe. At least as far as you guys are concerned. But there's a golden eagle about a quarter mile south. I think I'll stay outside for a while and hope he goes away. Not for the first time, I realize how tough Tobias's life is. He shares all the same dangers we do, but he also has all the dangers that come from being a red-tailed hawk. Golden eagles sometimes prey on hawks. They are bigger and faster than he is. So, what's up? Tobias asked. We have a completely useless distress beacon, Rachel said. We need a transponder that probably won't be invented on this planet for a century or two. How about Chapman? Tobias said. What about Chapman? I asked. Chapman is the assistant principal at our school. He's also one of the most important controllers. I used to hate Chapman. I mean, once I knew that he was a controller and all. But then we learned that he surrendered his freedom to the Yerks as part of a deal to keep his daughter, Melissa, safe. It's hard to hate someone for protecting their kid, even if he or she ended up being a deadly enemy. That's that's one of the terrible things about fighting the Yerks. The real enemy is just the evil slug in a person's brain. The host is often totally innocent. We know that Chapman communicates with Fisher 3, Tobias said. He talks to Fisher 3 on the Yerk mothership, or on the Blade ship, wherever Fisher 3 is. Doesn't that mean that Chapman's secret radio thing must have one of these Z-space transponders? Yes! Axe said instantly. If this controller speaks to any Yerk ship, he would have to have a Z-space transponder. The Yerk ships are all cloaked. Cloaking technology requires a Z-space deflection. Jake caught my eye. That's pretty much what I figured. I smiled, despite the fact that I had a bad feeling about the way this conversation was going. How big is a Z-space thingy? Cassie asked. Axe held two of his fingers close together, indicating something the size of a pea. There would be several redundant units in any transmitter. We could take one without it being noticed, at least not right away. Rachel stood. We are not going into Chapman's house again, she said firmly. The last time we did, we almost got Melissa made into a controller. We cannot morph her cat again. Chapman is on guard now. It won't be easy this time. She realized what she'd said and added, not that it was exactly easy the first time. A historic first, I observed. Rachel saying no to a mission. Rachel's right, Jake said. We do nothing that will endanger Melissa again. So the cat is out. Also, any other plan that means major risk that Chapman will discover us. For a while, no one said anything. Finally, Axe spoke silently in our heads. I cannot ask anyone to take risks for me. You rescued me from the bottom of the ocean. You sheltered me. And my foolishness almost got Prince Jake and Marco killed yesterday. What he said surprised me a little. I guess I'd expected him to argue that we should try and help him. What if... Cassie began. We all looked at her. Yes? Jake asked. What if there was a way to get into Chapman's basement room, the secret room where he keeps the transmitter, without even going through the house, with almost no chance of getting caught? I felt my heart sink. As long as it doesn't involve anything with an exoskeleton. I meant it as a joke, but Cassie just looked at me solemnly. What? I demanded. A lobster again? How is a lobster? No, she said. Think smaller. Much smaller. Much, much smaller. And that's the end of this lovely, heartwarming chapter. I did like the beginning of this chapter. Hang on, let me get some more coffee in me. I like the beginning of this chapter when Marco has a nightmare and he's woken up by his dad. And you're actually really introduced really not introduced, but really shown why Marco thinks the way he does, why he's so reluctant to fight. You can see there's a very deep emotional connection, and his whole not really wanting to fight isn't because he's a coward or he's this mean person. It's because he loves his dad and really cares about him. And before this book, you got to see mentions of him caring about his dad, but now you get to see it from his perspective, and you really get to see how much he does care and he does feel concern. Marco is an awesome character. He is. And if you would like to talk about this chapter with me, please comment down below. Remember, no major spoilers. I'm hoping that people will come to these videos and discover Animorphs, and I'll be converting the whole world population to Animorphs fans. So, no major spoilers. But if you do want to talk spoilers with me, if you are watching on the YouTubes, link in the description to my Tumblr ask box, and there you can talk Animorphs with me, and mention your favorite fan theories. And if you are one of those people that have stumbled onto this video and have suddenly grown interested in this book, if you are watching on the YouTube's link in the description, if you're watching on my blog, link down below. And both links will take you to where you can buy your very own copy of Animorphs #5, The Predator. If you are watching this on the YouTubes, please like this video and subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you are watching this on my blog and watching on the desktop version of my blog, go choose the follow by email option. Okay, now the real life segment. Taking care of Rev Resner is hard. Like after this video, I'm gonna have to rush and make some chicken nuggets and help him out, and then film the final video for the evening. It's just so hectic doing a personal life and this blog life, and I nearly forget to do shit for myself. Just so I can make sure he's well and healthy. It's hard at times. But I won't stop doing it. I'm sort of, I guess, a little too prideful to accept too much help. I'm going to need to get some x-rays done, and I don't know if I can go to my foot and ankle appointment without the scans, the x-rays, which will mean I will have to get the x-rays done tomorrow. It's just so fucking hectic, and I don't want to leave the house tomorrow. I just want to sleep all day tomorrow and not do anything that important. But life is life, and you sort of have to accept it at some point. And that'll be the end of this segment. And now the hopeful wishes segment. This is a segment where I say some wishes and then I drink some. Tonight, coffee. I need to keep myself awake. So I have just enough energy to do everything I need to do. God, I was supposed to do laundry tonight, but now it's getting too late where that's like, and then I have to wake up really early tomorrow. It's like, hey, yeah, that's never gonna fucking happen. Okay. And you can participate in 2 ways. The first is you can submit your own hopeful wish. You can do so by commenting down below. And your hopeful wish and your hopeful wish will be read next episode. You can also participate by drinking along with me. Drink your favorite alcohol, liqueur, or whatever the fuck's lying around. And if you don't drink, for whatever reason, you can drink, orange juice, apple juice, whatever. Now, since no one submitted any hopeful wish for this episode, I will read off some of my own. First off, I hope everyone's doing well, both mentally and physically, so you don't have to deal with any medical bullshit. And I hope Rev Resner's recovery is speedy because I need sleep and relaxation. And oh yeah, Wednesday is my 32nd birthday, so I hello. It's like I'm going help, hope, help. Ah. And so I hope my birthday is actually something good. It's not too stressful, but with how life's been acting with me so far, I do not think that's a possibility. Oh, God. Oh, God. And that will be it. So drink along with me. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Next video will be more of Animorphs number 5, The Predator by K. Applegate. And it will air shortly. And until next video, goodbye.